Hello, my name is Ethan, and welcome back to another episode of Path of Exile Sentinel League 3.18. In this episode, I'm going to be showing how to sustain Crimson Temple. People want to sustain Crimson Temple. If you didn't know, you can get the Apothecary, the new Mage Blood diff card from the Crimson Temple. I have seen 7 of the Apothecary from this map myself dropped. One with a Scarab, the rest without, and the it's a really fun map. It's really cool, and people want to be able to sustain the map, like get enough map drops to continue to run it, and I've been able to, and I have extra sustain where I'll show you this. We have the extra cannot regens because I corrupt my maps, and I have the extra reflex that I keep to run with a cannot reflex sextant, and then I also had extra maps that I left over here that's cannot regen, and I could run them later if I wanted to, but they're not really that fun. Technically, it's better because now that I have ES, I can recharge still, which is really cool, as long as I just don't get slaughtered. So now I'll go into all the tricks. First off, I'll talk about my Sextant. So what I do is, you have some plain void stones. If you don't know how to get these, you kill the Searing Exarch, the Eater of Worlds, Uber Elder, and Maven. Then you can get these. Okay. So then, these help your map sustain because they increase the have the chance to increase the tier of the map by one tier. Then, so you need these, and then this is to run the Sextants. And then for Sextants, I would just use some nice awakened Sextants, and I'd use it on all 4. And I'd look at the mods, and these all seem good. The quality's fine. I've been skipping this sometimes. So what I would do is, like, let's say roll over this, and then people ask, like, what if what would you do if you get other mods? So if you get like a harvest, or I can actually show you something real fun. So there's these surveyor's compasses. You buy these from Kirak for 1C. Then you come to here and you look at my stored compasses. I think this is better than wasting my sextants. I'll just show you what I've actually stored. Ritual, no cost. This exists. Blight, probably should roll over that. Just use another sextant, roll over it, don't store it. I stored it because whatever. Harby, currency shard. That one needs to be Chayula, not Esh. This needs don't store Abyss. You should roll over it. Nico, you could store. You could store the smugglers or roll over it. Breach, you could roll over it or store. This one you could also roll over it. Nico. Okay, Harby. We have Essence. This is bad. These are the ones I would use. This one drops corrupted items, so I don't like to keep it, but other people like it for 6 links, so you could do that. But I don't want to be the guy who drops a Mage Blood corrupted, and then reroll free, and Metamorph you could roll over. Harby a lot. Legion, I've got him Beyond, Harvest. There's also, 100% chance for Sacred Grove. There's Elder Guardian maps, Shaper Guardian maps from the bosses. There's June, that's highly profitable. Mirror of Delirium, all these things. Beyond, I recommend storing them. So you use, I'll show you it. I'll waste one just to show you. Then you right click a Surveyor's Compass and you can store the thingy, and then you can the person can actually use it after. Cool. That Sextants, it makes a big diff. So I pretty much just roll for packs, and I actually sell the good ones, like the ones that are adding the league mechanics that I don't want currently because of the tree being only the not league mechanics. Yep. For maps, I would quality them up to 20 quality, and then I would alchem, and then I would corrupt them, and I would put the unidentified ones aside. So before rolling, so I'll show you this. I don't have that many, but I have 4. I'll show you with 4. What I would do is grab the chisels, the chaos, etc., and then 20 qual. You can even search for 20 to see which ones already have the 20 qual to organize it like this. And then you can alchem, and you could even do like rare. It shows the rare, and then I do reflect, and when you have a lot of maps, it makes it easier to find them. And then regen, and now I know I don't have any, and I can already corrupt without reading any of the modifiers. And then I would put the unidentified separately. And then I would look through here, or I would search again, because the mods can reroll. But there's actually a fact that if the map goes unidentified, the mods can't reroll, so therefore you are good. Those unidentified are safe. Then, special sextant. I get these, they're so cheap, because people know, and yeah, they're common. 20% increased pack size in your unidentified maps, so I would get 4 of these, use this Sextant, then, and I would use these first. So I'd put 3 of these. Maybe I get a chance of this for free. If not, I put this as the 4th Sextant. Don't roll the 4th Sextant, just put this as the 4th, yeah. But don't put this before, because the Sextants you have on the other Void Stones actually block. You can't, like, if you have this one, and you roll another one, you can't get this mod twice. So keeping my shitty mods actually increases the odds of getting the good mods that I make more money. So it's my whole like Sextant strat is actually a moneymaker too. It's really cool. And then this is using your unidentifieds to get extra pack size, which is extra map sustain. And then you would have these maps, and you could actually you could take all your low ones and use them with this strat, because we don't put any scarabs or anything, and you could store the high ones to put with scarabs, because the big ones with high quantity, high pack size, 8 mods are the ones you would want to juice. But this strat is just run them all, whatever, go, and you keep sustaining, and it's insane. So now let's get into how you actually run the map. So it's really funny. You literally just grab the map, because you can't use scarabs, you can't use fragments, because we're using Stream of Consciousness, which increases the amount of extra content. And then we're able to use map device though. So I do domination because of shrines, and we have all the shrine stuff, and then the shrine buffs are really fun to do the map faster. And right now I actually switched the tree to a June tree, but normally I wouldn't do any. And you could spend 3 points to get the what is this called? You could spend 3 points to reach Packed with Energy to get 45 move speed from your Sulfite and 3 max all res, which is actually really fun. Max LE res, and you could use your Sulfite, you could go delving like I have up to 500 depth. It's pretty cool. And yeah, you could also use your other missions if you change over to that stuff in your tree, but this is no master mission, just domination, and then the map, and there's more stuff. There's altars and shit you have to pick correctly too. And then all I would make sure of is I grab, like, when I roll a Sextant, because of my strat having the this is a different tree, don't worry about it. Worry about the one I give you, and gave you with the Elk and Go before, and then it's updated. So Sextant modifiers have 1 additional use of 4 maps. I usually grab a set of 4. So then I just run it with the Sextants, and then when I'm out of maps, I have to roll the Sextants again. It's pretty simple. And then, yeah, I'll tell you about the altars now. In your Crimson Temple, you're going to be met with these altars, because you have both the things. You're going to get crazy double mods and extra things, and so I recommend picking minion as much as possible, because this only affects the influence monsters. Map is the map boss, and then the other one, player, is you, and those player mods are really hard to mitigate, and it's really rippy, but so like if you're trying to survive, technically if you just do minion map boss, it's actually a lot easier. And if you do the player mods, you're going to be minusing res, you're going to be taking a lot of chaos damage, and if you don't have your chaos res capped, it's going to get you killed. Also, you lose fire res, you lose chaos res. There's a lot of reading, it's not really worth it. So if you just pick minion boss, it's a lot easier. And then if you kill the boss, you don't see boss altars anymore. That's another secret. You're supposed to rush to the boss so that you don't get the boss altars anymore. Another thing is, while you're in your map, it's very important that you use your Sentinel and you get a good Sentinel. In my opinion, a good Sentinel for this map is quantity, probably, because we have the div card, we have all the Tormented Spirits, the Rogue Exiles. We want to get more quantity on them. That would be really good. And we still get a decent amount of ad rewards, like through just the base Sentinel, and so quantity on all the rewards the Sentinel is giving sounds really good. I'll put it like this: 200 monsters with 250 quant sounds insane. Also, you get to buff whatever you want. I don't want to trust it here. And then I recommend trying to get a special base using that special power core when you're combining your Sentinels. I'll show you that in a second, because for example, I have a Cryptic Stalker which can empower 130 enemies. Oh, this is a fun example. So when you get these altars though, where it gives you a Searing Exarch implicit modifier, to be honest, this is dog shit and useless, because you don't pick these up except for maybe a Brittle Boot. And so this would be an example of you can pick player mods to get more loot and to get more map sustain, even though it's more rippy. Especially, we're softcore guys. You can do this. You don't have to pick the weakest stuff of surviving the most, but just know that the reason you die is the player mods. They're very fucked. Like, I just lost 3,000 armor and evasion. I went down to 17 and 12. Let me show you what I have. Like, what? This is crazy. 37-23. It just halved my shit, dude. Me! My god build. What? What are you talking about? That's insane. Yep. Now imagine a lesser build. Yeah, that's really insane, dude. And then I'll show you this part. So then in your Sentinel Locker, you could look at quantity and then maybe try to get a better base. Because you see how these can only empower 90? Like, this is Obsidian. Obsidian's still good, but I have Cryptic 100. I had an Ancient earlier. I lost it. It turned into a Unique. Very sad. But I would use these Transforming Power Cores. It gives you a higher chance of a special base type. And then that means, like, these cool ones like Cryptic and Ancient. And then there's also Emberstone, but I think it's slightly worse than the Obsidian. And then there's also Brimstone. Very cool. And then, like I said, quantity, but there's also like 248 quant here, but there's also currency, there's other rewards, there's ad rewards, there's div. Those are the ones I've been doing. Fossils seems pretty cool, I guess. And then that also will help your map sustain. If you're not using the Sentinel, well, that's just missing map. I think it could over sustain you on its own. Like, it's really insane, really powerful. If you're using good Sentinels, they kind of carry, which is you have to actually combine Sentinels and know what you're doing and learn about it and improve them and stuff. So that could be difficult. And then you have to choose some of the altars you can actually choose will offer you the minions drop maps, or map boss will drop more maps, or player duplicate chance for maps. You can do that if you're not sustaining. Another thing is you can tech into the singular focus. You can also go from this side instead, so it's less points instead of this side. And then 1, 2, 3, singular focus. But the problem with this is you can't drop the Conqueror maps, the Synthesis maps, no more Cortex. Big value is like 1.6x. But you'll super sustain the favored map of getting tons of this map if you just need to build up a map pool. This can really help you. I highly recommend it. And while you're here, you could even take the extra map. Like, you could just go ham in the map sustain just in the beginning to build up a map pool. And you could even take off Stream of Consciousness technically and run like a Gilded Cartography Scarab, and some other scarabs, like you could even run a Beast. You could run Beyond on your map. You could run extra like Harbies, maybe the like things that add packs, maybe some other league mechanics like a Blight, or maybe influence like Elder or Shaper, because you can double influence now if you didn't know. If you're gonna turn off Stream of Consciousness to use a Gilded Cartography Scarab or something, you should probably be adding some other insane scarabs, like maybe a Gilded Elder and a Gilded like I said, maybe a Expedition you could add in, or a Blight. That just adds a lot of monsters. It's kind of cool. Harbies, a lot of monsters. It's kind of cool. But maybe you'd go lower on those because they're expensive, and they still add a lot of monsters. Abyss is pretty good too, especially with the Beyond. But our tree isn't really teched into that. So that's why I'd go more for just the influence, the simple stuff. Influence, cartography, and probably the Beast on the map device, or another master mission like Alpha, and then you go from there. So many ways to improve map sustain. It's insane. And now we reach this point in the video where I actually switch my whole tree just to show you the tree. Also, this is updated from that command, and I realized now that the command I showed was actually my old one, where I took out 3 points of map sustain. And I had ended up, after testing it, I realized I wasn't sustaining, and I did need the extra 25% chance to be 1 tier higher, and that helped a lot. But also learning more about my Sentinel and being able to pick better altar mods to be able to get more sustain that way, through the quantity, through the player mods, and the extra maps duplication. Because doing map boss really does suck. Like, killing the map boss fast to be able to not get map boss as an option is amazing. It really improves your results if you rush the boss. Huge, because it fixes your altars to not get the map boss one. You don't want that. And then the other, and then the pathing on the tree. Technically, there was like some extra map duplication, which helped, but it wasn't enough to make up for this. And then here we get the extra the quantity in the middle too, so it's like super better. And then with all the extra tips and tricks I gave, and then like you should already be good with all the tips I've given, but like I said, worst case scenario, you can also, or when you're starting, you could run singular focus with the gilded cartography and go crazy with over sustaining. So like I said, for that, take off stream of consciousness, potentially use a gilded cartography, gilded elder, or gilded shaper, one of the two, and then something else. And you could also run beast in your thing, domination, and you could run an extra sextant, an extra scarab. You could even run actually strong boxes with some sextants while you do it, because you have all the strongbox nodes. Yeah, it's really cool, really cool, fun. I love this strat. All right, so we switched the tree, we set up the atlas, everything's ready. We don't have the June anymore, just because I wanted to show the tree, because I realized that the tree was different than what I put out, because I had updated and improved it just slightly. But I think also all the improvements of actually using the Sentinel correctly and having a better Sentinel and having the more empowered enemies and all this stuff really makes a big difference. The altar choices, there's so much player input where your results can be really different, where I have to make this video of sharing all the things I'm doing. Here's map currency and gem duplication, so you can do the map currency. But like I said, just pick minion mods and skip the player mods if you want to survive. But if you want the most, it's minion mods, then player mods. The reason minion mods first is you want the base loot. Like you need the multipliers of duplication don't really work unless you have base. So the influence adds a lot of base loot, and then after that you duplicate the base loot. Yeah. You could, if you're juicing and shit, technically the player mods are probably better, because then you can duplicate like the divs from your div scarab and stuff, or uniques and maps if you're doing cartography, or yeah, uniques if you're doing reliquary, and you could have that stacking. But when you're not juicing at all with any scarabs or anything, this getting the base loot just from the influence is really good. Divine Orb, I'm rich. And then I wanted to just show, I've rushed the map boss, and now you could look for shrines. Since I have so many shrines, you can just run through the map. And another thing I thought of is you don't actually have to worry about full clearing with this strat, because you didn't actually juice anything. And if you're over sustaining maps, then you're good. Here's map duplication, you could actually pick it, but see, divination card is just, and yeah, you could have picked map duplication though, and you would have gotten more if you hit a map, and then you have a chance for more. So you run through the map, and it doesn't matter if you clear it all technically, because it was so free. And as long as you use your Sentinel, you click the altars, and you get the shrines. And yeah, that's really, you're good. Go to the next. It's about how many maps per hour, how many Sentinels per hour, how many altars, and it's not about those little tiny scraps in the map, honestly, with this strat. So it's really cool. And the better you sustain the maps, and the better you can just keep running them faster and faster, the better you're doing. And then you build up all this stuff, all these master missions, all the extra shit, all the scarabs, and then you could actually do some other strats without even buying them. Pretty cool. You also will have all those extra sextants if you keep the good mods. Like I said, unique monster drop crypto. People actually like this, but I don't want this. I don't want that. Oil is found higher, beyond. Well, either way, thank you guys for watching the video. Thanks for hanging out. I hope you guys enjoyed this. I hope this helps your map sustain in Path of Exile. If it did, hey, like the video. Let's get 135 likes in 3 days in this video. Thank you guys for all the support. I really appreciate it. And if you guys like the video, hit that subscribe button. I'll see you guys in the next episode. Bye!